we're going through the system now, huh? As far as sound goes? Okay, that's what I was thinking.
First on the
Let's see.
on the pre-music.
Yeah, that's right. I hadn't thought about that.
I think we ought to do Old Man last.
Okay.
What do you think? And maybe Summertime in the middle,
Yeah, we could do that.
and start with Ghetto.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
That'll work.
All righty then.
I remember my capos now. That's always my thing. I remember I have 2 pages, all these important things.
Yeah, 2 pages and a capo.
2 pages and a capo. It'll get you there. As the snow flies on a cold and cloudy morning, the poor little baby child is born in the ghetto. Math came in. Excuse me. And his mama cries. 'Cause if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another little hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. God, it's always when I do that, I go instantly to the scene of it. I mean, it's just amazing.
Very
Amazing.
It's a visual.
It's
Yeah,
hugely
yeah, it is.
visual. It's just an incredible song.
It really is.
I'd like to know who. Sometimes I don't know if Elvis wrote the words to some of these songs, or if somebody wrote it and he and sold it to him. You know.
Yeah, I don't
thing.
know.
But this one seems. I would think this came from him. That he
Yeah.
wrote this one
Might have been.
because it's so much part of his soul.
Right.
You know. It's,
You know that song, Knock Me Tender, is actually a folk song called Laura Lee.
yes.
So I don't know who put the words to it. Maybe Elvis did, but it's beautiful that way. I love that song. And there's another one, another slow, soft one he did that.
Morning, Matt.
Hey!
Good to see you. Yeah.
I gotta get my shoulders stretched. You know that the tightness that I have in this one? I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
it in this one now. Knew that was gonna happen though.
Because of.
Because I read up about it, frozen shoulder, and it said if you've got it in one, you're probably gonna get it in the other one eventually.
I wonder why is that?
It's just basically it's a severe tendonitis, and women get it more than men. It's a after 40 kind of thing. It's very common, and whatever you do in your life that you do a lot of, you use your shoulders in a certain way, and if you're predisposed to tightness in these tendons, then some people just get it. It's just basically like tennis elbow or something, but it's here.
Wow.
People use their
Morning.
joints in a certain way, then they get stiff.
I never heard that before.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's okay because now I know what to do. I know how to stretch it, so it won't get worse.
Oh, good.
When the first time it happened, I thought, well, what have I done? I better take it easy, right? And that was the opposite. You actually want to use it.
Yeah.
And I didn't, and that made it compound and get worse. Yeah.
And actually do the stretches and
Yes.
all that. Yeah.
Yes. So I've been stretching it now, so it won't get worse.
Good.
I'm on it.
Is it an inflammation base?
It's tendonitis, but it's just really tight tendonitis is what it is. And then my husband said, "I got this," and I said, "Yeah." I said, "Start stretching it."
Well, it relates to your Achilles tendon. You know, before you run or jog, you need to stretch that.
Yes, that's
so
right.
it won't seize on you.
Right, and as we get older, all those tendons are just are less flexible than what they once were, you know. So, anyway, I'm on it. I'm stretching it. I'm getting it under control.
Hey, I saw a hand back there. Somebody's hand. Good morning, everybody out there. I think I heard something. We're going to start out with a little Elvis. As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mama cries, 'cause if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another little hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. People, don't you understand? The child needs a helping hand, or he'll go to be an angry young man someday. Take a look at you and me. Are we too blind to see? Do we simply turn our heads and look the other way while the world turns? And a hungry little boy with a runny nose plays in the streets as the cold wind blows in the ghetto. And his hunger burns. So he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal, and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. Then one night in desperation, the young man breaks away. He buys a gun, steals a car, tries to run, but he don't get far. And his mama cries as a crowd gathers round an angry young man face down on the street with a gun in his hand in the ghetto. As her young man dies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, and another little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mama cries It's a powerful song. Summertime, and the living is easy. summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Good morning. Good to see y'all on this bright, beautiful day with this actual sun. What a celebration.
Good morning. I'm just so happy this morning. Can't tell you, I miss old son.
Good morning. Our friend Roger has been delayed this morning. We're not certain if he'll be here, but we're here. And everyone's online, I hope, or they're coming online soon. So we're going to start with our opening song, which is Peace Like a River. Let's stand and do that.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. And I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul, my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul, my soul. And I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. And I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Wonderful, wonderful. See, I told you he'd make it, and here he is. Come on down.
It's like the
Price is Right. Come on down.
Yeah, come on down.
You may win a car.
I told them you were delayed momentarily, and you were.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Some people have senior moments. I seem to have had a senior hour. I looked up and it was 21 minutes after 10, and I said, oh, okay. But, have we had our first song? Perfect. I can rely on somebody being on time, right? The whole church. I apologize. Namaste.
Namaste.
Well, it's good to be here. It's good to be missed. You know, good things happen from mistakes sometimes. Let's open with a prayer. We open our hearts and minds to receive divine inspiration this morning at this very special place and time. May we allow Spirit to inform us of what is ours to release and what is ours to embrace. We open up, we release, and receive as Spirit moves in, around, and through us. We are grateful for this glorious morning and all those who are serving of their gifts and talents. May we each be blessed in a special way. Amen. Welcome to Unity of Gulfport. Do we have any first-time visitors? It's pretty easy to figure out we don't because there's so many spaces there. Well, that's all right. That won't last forever. We'll have people coming in droves eventually. That's what we're looking forward to, aren't we? We come together to affirm and celebrate our unity, which is our oneness with each other and with the source of all that is. In that spirit of unity, let us pause to unfold in light and love all people in our community and in our world. The candle of unity signifies the light within each of us and our connection to the source of all that is, and so it is. Let us affirm our faith. I have faith that God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I have faith that God provides ways when to human sense there is no way. I have faith that God is guiding me in all ways. My health, happiness, and success are assured. We'll now sing All That I Am. Isn't that a beautiful song? Rick Williamson will now read the daily word.
Good morning. Today's word is inner peace. I express the peace of God. Peace, be still. With these words, Jesus claimed his authority and calmed the stormy waters. Following Jesus' example, I also claim authority. In a stressful moment, I center my awareness in the divine presence that lives in me and expresses through me. This divine presence is perfect life, love, and wisdom. It is peace that nothing and no one can disturb. No matter what may be happening around me, at the center of my being, there is always peace. It is an aspect of my divine inheritance. As I near my next thought, I release all fear and tension and embrace the peace of God. As I do, divine peace radiates from the center of my being. It clarifies my thoughts, calms my emotions, and relaxes my body. In every situation, I am a presence of peace. And from Isaiah 26:3, those of steadfast mind you keep in peace because they trust you.
Thank you, Rick. Announcements. Beth Powell will offer yoga, meditation, and breathing on February 15th at 9 a.m. And there will be a prayer chaplains meeting on Zoom on February 11th at 2 p.m. Does anyone have any events they'd like to announce? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Miss Judy. Miss Judy was awesome, y'all.
Oh, you're
They talked about
welcome.
you all evening.
Oh, really? Thank
My
you.
mom had this special walk, and Miss Judy gave that walk. So
Oh.
they just talked about it, they just really love you, and thanks for being there. And thanks to those, last Sunday that gave me some money for the kids. I didn't do nothing this Saturday because it's cold, and I was trying to revive my body. But next Saturday I will. So Mr. Reed, I will be calling you.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Good. Thank you. Yes, dear.
I just have some information. Mary and then I have been keeping in touch since she decided to go on a wild goose chase and see if she wanted to live in, back in California. But anyway, she's coming over the 15th. She lives in this house. It hasn't sold, and but she's not sure what she's going to do. She's going to be back for a while. So we'll have to just wait and see. Congratulations.
We'll give her our love. Okay. Well, tell her we miss her and we love her and we understand. Okay. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to talk about? As most of you know, we have a prayer box at the back of the room with prayer request forms. You can place your prayer requests there, so we pray for them here and at Silent Unity. And just a reminder, our prayer chaplains are holding sacred space for us all. We'll now sing The Greatest Gift.
The greatest gift in all my life is knowing you. love you more. I want to love you more. The greatest gift in all my life is loving you. The greatest gift in all my life is serving you. The greatest gift in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you more. I want to serve you more. The greatest gift in all my life is serving you. The greatest gift in all my life is loving you. The greatest gift in all my life is loving you. I want to love you more. I want to love you more. The greatest gift in all my life is loving you.
Another beautiful song. I now turn the program over to Reverend Judy.
Thank you, Roger, and now the train is almost past. And the announcements that came from the congregation, and they didn't have a microphone, so I'll repeat it just for our listening audience. And that is that our friend Nay was thanking me for the graveside service that I officiated at this week for her mother. And it just turned out to be a beautiful day. That day, wasn't it? It was so beautiful, and the sun was shining, and it was warm. You didn't even need a jacket. And your family is huge. How many people were there, Nay? Probably 50, do you think? Oh. Oh, it was beautiful, and so beautiful and touching, and I was so impressed with your family, and thank you for asking me to share in that. As some of you know, and I've shared it before, it's the reason I became a minister, was that I had attended a couple of memorial services or funerals, and really poorly done, and left you leaving feeling so badly for the family. You know, someone was talking about sin and was he saved, and was it, you know, and it was like, oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. This is not appropriate. We know that people come in this life to live their life's purpose, and that ought to be celebrated. Let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate that. And allow family members and friends to leave here feeling good, as good as they can at that time. And so I had the distinct privilege of officiating at 2 graveside services this week. Friday, we weren't quite as lucky weather-wise. It was cold and it rained, but the family of Scott got together, and we had a time of honoring Scott's life and having a bit of closure. I decided we would continue that a bit today, and even invited them to come online that we would share a little bit about Scott's life and the pain, too, that we've had in his passing. And when you're not able to have a memorial service, you're not able to have that closure. And so we seek that too, because Scott was our family. He was part of this spiritual family, and we need to have closure for that as well. And before I go on and forget, also Patty said one of the announcements was that our friend Marion took off and went to California. Her family convinced her that she'd be better off there. Well, she even has her house on the market here now, and we understand that she misses us. She misses her house, and the house has not sold, so she's coming home for right now. So good for you, Marion. So this morning, I know some of you musicians were especially close to Scott. And those of us that came on the first Friday music night, how much we enjoyed it when Scott took the stage. It was just fun. And remembering him, he had such a unique style with his music and his voice. And we have a couple of clips. Joey Bignoli recorded him one Friday night, and then I did remember that we had the camera over there one Friday night, and my husband recorded him, and I posted that. And if anyone else didn't get to see it and would like to, let me know, and I'll send you the link to it. As I'm going to say in just a little bit, Scott was such a unique person, and we're honoring him today with not only the next song, but all of the words that I'm going to use this morning for my usual Sunday message. They're going to be in remembrance of him and also an appreciation to the joy that he brought into the world. And he did. And Scott had lived in this area for some time. I believe his father worked out at the plant there at DuPont, and it's why the family moved here. And Scott lost his mother a couple of decades ago, and then he has 2 brothers, and he has 3 sisters. And we met the family Friday afternoon. And immediately, Dan and I are walking up the sidewalk, and a man that I knew had to be his brother, and his brother from lives in Texas, and he stops us and he says, "Okay, I know, I'm so much more handsome than Scott." So immediately I said, "I know who you are." Because as we know, Scott was always letting us know how handsome he was. And, but, oh my goodness, what an humble person, what a loving person, what a gentle, light-filled person he was. And how blessed we were to have him in our midst. And he was always, after the service, "Oh, you're so beautiful today. You're just so beautiful." And how, then of course I had to tell him how handsome he was. Oh my goodness, what a light he brought to the world. And we won't be sad about that today. We'll just be thankful that for the time that we had with him, because we know, maybe our days aren't numbered, but we do know that our soul knows when it's time to go home. And we know that, and that gives us a sense of peace, doesn't it? That does give us a sense of peace, that our soul does know when it's time to go home. So this morning, before this beautiful song that's going to be a tribute for Scott, let's breathe in love. I would ask you to gently close your eyes. Relax the focus in your forehead. Relax the muscles in your eyes. That will allow your focus to go inward. As you take in these words, I breathe deeply and send love and light to my heart. I relax as its closed places begin to open. I shine the healing light of acceptance to the darkened corners of my soul. I release all feelings of shame and the heavy burden of pain. I set myself free. My love flows through me to my community, my country, and my world. We are all blessed children of universal light and love. And a Hopi prayer. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet white doves in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die.
Instead of cursing the darkness, light a candle for where we're going. There's something ahead worth looking for. When the light of time is on us, we will see all the come, and the living soul inside. Here we are. It's a chance to give new meaning to every move we've made through the caverns and the caves where we come from.
That was beautiful. And I know Scott's listening and loved it. Kicking up his heels. Well, don't we have beautiful weather today? Oh, my goodness. And aren't we blessed? I know we're going to have a bit more cold weather, but you know what? It's not going to be much, and compared to those up north, my husband's sister sent a photo this morning, and all you could see was white out the window, and I think it's going to be 0 today. Is that right, Dan? He's up there live streaming, but it was going to be cold, so we're blessed right where we are. So this morning, I have chosen this topic to honor Scott because I felt like he was a breath of fresh air wherever he went. And we know so many people that are like that. But first, one bitter cold Sunday, an old farmer trudged for miles through a blizzard to reach the small mountain church that he attended. No one else showed up except the preacher. So the preacher says he looks at the empty pews, and he leaned over the pulpit and suggested to his lone congregant that it was hardly seemed worth proceeding with the service with such a low turnout. Perhaps we'd do better if we returned to our nice warm houses and had a hot drink, he said. That was encouraging the lone congregant, maybe we ought to go home. Well, the old farmer looked at the preacher and he said, I'm just a simple farmer, but when I go to feed my herd, if only one cow shows up, I sure don't let her go hungry. So the preacher felt a little embarrassed and maybe a little guilty. So he conducted the entire service. The hymns, the readings, the announcements, and a full sermon. He gave him the whole dose. It lasted way over an hour. So after the service, he said to the farmer, I hope that met your needs. And the farmer said, I'm just a simple farmer, but when I go to feed my herd, if only one cow shows up, I sure don't force her to eat everything I brought for the whole lot of them. I feel like that a lot of Sundays. I get up here and I'm just so excited and so enthusiastic, I want to tell you everything, and I can hardly quit. But the truth is, and here is the truth, here at Unity, we do have one message, don't we? We give you a little bit different variations of it every Sunday, but we do give you one message. And I'll just remind you of that before I go on. And that is that there is one power in the universe. We call that power God, Spirit, the divine. And number 2, we're each a ray of that divine Spirit. You can think of it any way you want to. I think of myself as being an instrument of the divine. I am divinely directed. I am an instrument, and you are too. And you are, whether you know it or not. That's the thing. You definitely are a ray of the divine. And we are so much better off when we keep our thoughts positive, so we think positively. We've learned that. And we know that we connect more and more easily. The more we connect and go within in prayer or meditation, whatever you call that, you find your connection more easily. And it's not enough to know all that. You must also walk the talk. So when we go out into the world, we hope that others will say of us, There's an instrument of the divine right there. Right there. Now, I know that these times have been challenging, and sometimes it's more difficult to be a breath of fresh air, isn't it? But the more I thought about it, Friday when it rained for that graveside service, and I felt like I needed to give us a bit more and wanted to do that this morning, and that's what Scott reminded me of. Let's be a breath of fresh air, no matter what's going on in the world, no matter the ups and downs that are going on for you. And he certainly did that. Now, we know that we've all met people who bring extra sunshine into the room when they walk in. We know that, don't we? You just feel like there comes a ray of sunshine, and you're just so happy to be with them. There's a lightness and an energy about them that's almost contagious. And we need that right now. We need light and love to be more contagious than that old pandemic out there. We're about tired of that, aren't we? Yes. And we're about to turn a corner and go on with our lives. We've already turned that corner. So almost everyone wants to hang out with that person that's a breath of fresh air. That's okay. If you're not ready to do that, the time will come. If the thought has come to you that you'd like to be a breath of fresh air, you just don't know how to do it yet, set that intention, and you will. At least the thought has come to you that you do want to change, and you do want to be different. And Scott Lewis was always that. Whether he was at a party, here, with friends eating lunch, playing his music, he was always the light-hearted one that walked in the door to be a breath of fresh air. And we thank him for that. We thank him for his example. So today, I hope what I say leaves you feeling a little bit better. And then you can go out and make someone else's life a little sunnier. Joy Marino said, "You are a breath of fresh air in a world that is so suffocating right now." It is, isn't it? There's been a lot going on this past year, and we want to get beyond that, and each one of us can. So I'm going to share with you this morning a few ways that maybe you can do that and leave much of the heaviness and the suffering behind and become mindful. We don't want to get caught up in that energy. You know how it feels to be in a group and it's just so heavy and sad and downhearted. And you just want to get away from that, don't you? So let's talk about some of the ways that we can. Some things for you to consider. One of the things you might consider is, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And I think about this sometimes because, you know, as I do memorial services, I officiate at those, and I do officiate at graveside services. And I have the honor and the privilege of saying the last words over this person's life. And I know how important it is when family will tell me so many wonderful things about their loved one, what they did in the world, and just how important that is. So it makes me want to ask you this morning, who do you want to be? What would you like to be said about you? What would you like to be said about you at a memorial service for you? What would you like to be said? He was the meanest guy in the room. She was the stingiest person I ever met. If you wanted to hear gossip, all you had to do was go to her or him. or my goodness, that was one vengeful dude. If you ever did anything to him, you better watch your back. Are those things you'd like to have said about you? That was the most depressing person I ever knew or wanted to be around, or the most downhearted. That was the hardest person to be with. Now, we would never say that at someone's memorial service, but you know, it does give you pause. It makes you want to think, what would I like to have people say about me? I'd like for them to say she was very truthful. She was always looking for facts, not innuendo, not insinuations, not some facts out there that someone has just blurted out and there's no truth behind. She's a person that wanted facts so that she could know that was truth, and then she could get behind that. She was a person that was always looking for a middle way so that she could get along with everyone. She wasn't wanting to be divisive or create disharmony wherever she went. She was a person that wanted harmony. She wanted people to get along. She wanted peace in the world. That's what I'd like to have said about me. The world was a better place because she lived. And if so, then let's take a moment this morning to think about how we might live our lives in reverse then, or take that desire in reverse, if those are the things that are going to be said about us at our graveside service. What things would I like to be said about me? Who am I? Generous and caring, devoted to peace and harmony. Even when I'm on social media. Did you know that counts too? A lot of people don't seem to think so. We can always be a breath of fresh air. And we know there are ups and downs in our lives. We know that. Everyone has bumps in the road. That's life. But we concentrate on the good, even when there are difficult things in our lives. As a matter of fact, when there is something difficult, you can get to feel so much better if you'll do something good for another. Put that worry aside and go do some good. You'll be so much better. So let's put all that heaviness aside. Look for the good. Look for God. If you're around a lot of downers, complainers, naysayers, they never make you laugh. They only want a lot of doom and gloom. You need to reconsider your circumstances. And that's all I'll say about that. You need to reconsider. I think that learning to value how I feel more than trying to control the outside world is a good thing to do. Control how I feel instead of controlling the outside world. If enough of us love and bring light to the world, we're going to bring so much joy and peace to others and harmony. Harmony. So let those thoughts of resistance go. Be like a duck and let stuff roll off your back. Can you do that? Just let it roll on off. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Someone says something hurtful. Just say to yourself, honey, it's all good. I know you're hurting. I'm sorry. I have compassion for that. You probably have something horrible going on in your life. I forgive you. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you off the hook. We're going to both be at peace because I'm claiming it right here, right now. Go take care of you. I'm good. It's all good. Be unaffected. That's how you take a breath of fresh air. Look for what you want to see in your life. A lot of us are walking around looking for things to be upset about. This is wrong, that's wrong, that turned out the wrong way. Please let that go. Please, please, I'm asking you right now. I don't care what it is, who you are, that you are thinking turned out the wrong way. It didn't. It's reality. It's what is. Now, please, you're going to be a lot better off if you let it go. Let it go. Be at peace. Bring peace, love, and light to the world. You can heal yourself. You can heal the world. So what do you want to see out there? You want to see things that weigh heavy on your spirit? You want to become the wet, heavy blanket that you throw on every conversation? No, I don't think so. You want to start looking for beauty and love and joy and kindness and know that all is well. So if you want to be a breath of fresh air when you walk into a room, nowadays Zoom calls, that too. When you walk into your home, look for what you want to see. Look for the kindness in people. Look for the love, the good qualities, and you will begin to draw them to you. And if you're on social media, like all of us are you looking for things to criticize? Please don't. Please don't. Let it go on by. You don't need to comment or to be affected by it. Whatever someone said, let it go on by. Click the button that says, I don't want to see content like this. And click that button in your head, too, that says, I don't want to see content like this, and I'm not going to. There's a lot of ugly stuff out there, and I sure don't want to see it, and I don't want it to affect me. And it's not going to. It doesn't. I don't allow it. You don't have to see everything out there. You're sharing your light. You're like a duck, and you're allowing it to roll on off. If you've said something to someone else where you reacted and now you regret it, please message that person. Tell them you're sorry. Tell them that you were triggered for a moment and you're sorry about that. We can heal the world. We can heal the division in our country. We can heal this. We can heal this. One person at a time, we can heal it. Next tip I'm going to give you is accept reality. Accept what is and quit arguing about it. You're never going to get peace as long as you do that. Spread love, understanding. There's so much fear in the world. I've noticed the polarities that are going on right now. I don't concentrate on it too much. It's a bit troubling, but I'm not going to concentrate on that. I've got too much love and light to share with the world, and that's my job. I'm an instrument of the divine, remember? We talked about that. You remember that? I'm an instrument of the divine. I'm not a troublemaker. I look for goodwill. I look for light and sunshine. And I am not going to allow an old wet, heavy blanket fall on me. Not going to do it. So if you're noticing all those polarities and the divisiveness, hatred, heaviness in the world, arguing, what we need more of is love. Love for all people and all sides. We need to understand. We need to sit down and talk sensibly with people. And again, if your cousin Tom may not be ready to breathe the love and fresh air that you're in, you can still love him from afar. You don't need to be in a room with him and allow him to dampen your mood. You don't. So carry yourself lightly. Air is light. It's fluid. It's effervescent. It's moving. And your emotional state impacts your body language. We know that. You've been around someone that's all slumped over and depressed, and you can see exactly how they're feeling in that moment, can't you? And you can feel that gloomy, dark mood. It fills a room. So if you're determined that you are going to be light and love and you're going to be a breath of fresh air, stand up, take a breath, smile, smile, smile. You can train yourself to smile all the time. I know because I did it. Several years ago, I read about endorphins and how when you smile, those are released. And I decided I'm going to just learn to smile all the time. So wherever I am, I remind myself to have a pleasant look on my face and have my lips turned up just a little bit at the corners and smile. And that's a fact. I've been doing that for several years, and it does help. So hold yourself upright. Carry yourself well. Remind yourself that you are a breath of fresh air and you are an instrument of the light. So doesn't it sound like fun? Doesn't that sound like fun to be a breath of fresh air instead of a wet blanket? What do you think? If you have a choice, and we do, we have a choice every moment. And a joyful heart is good medicine. This is what Scott knew so well. He entered a room with a smile on his face, ready to share joy and laughter all around. Laughter is good for your health. If you surround yourself with people that never make you smile, rethink and re-choose. Laughter releases that chemical called serotonin into our brains. That's the feel-good hormone. It's the effect it has on our feelings. You know that, right? Okay? It has a way of we can be part of a group, and it can make us feel more comfortable with others when we're laughing because they feel comfortable with us. That's why it felt so good to be with Scott. And researchers have found that laughter can also help our immune system work better. And this means that we can fight diseases better. I remember reading about a man that was fighting stomach cancer, and so he just turned on, this was years and years ago, he turned on the TV and watched funny programs all day long, and he just laughed and laughed and laughed. And do you know he was healed? So they have found that laughter can help our immune system work better. And lastly, this morning, when I think of Scott and being a breath of fresh air, I think of how he lived his life to the fullest. He brought sunshine to a cloudy day. I think there's a song like that. I have sunshine on a cloudy day. Oh my. He was God's instrument of peace, love, pardon, faith, hope, light, and joy right here on this earth. And as St. Francis instructs us, O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we're pardoned. It is in dying to self that we're born to eternal life. So, my friends, I ask you this morning that we live our lives as steadfastly as our friend Scott did. Spread love, joy, and light. Make the world a better place. Go in joy and peace. And I thank you for your time.
Wow. Thank you, Reverend Judy. What a beautiful Sunday service. Tribute to our friend Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment of the service where we are offered the opportunity to exercise our abundance awareness. With that in mind, let us take our love offering into our hands and affirm: divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust in God.
Don't we have wonderful musicians? We are just so blessed. And I thank Tina for looking over the sound, and my husband Dan for live streaming. Thank you, Dan. And Dennis Kolb prepares the slides for us. And I believe Rick may be joining the musicians next Sunday or sometime soon. I'm not certain. Next Sunday? Whenever. Okay. Oh, and all of you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being here this morning. We're really blessed, aren't you? And thank you, God, for this sunshine. Ooh. So let's sing the peace song. Let there